Hello, everybody. Happy Easter to each and every one of you, and welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Today's hard truth is, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And that comes from 1 Corinthians 14:33. You know, the more information we receive about the Idaho 4 case, the more confusing it seems to become. With all of the information that has already been published, you would think the truth of what happened would be clear as a bell. But according to the results of our survey, 44% of you believe Koberger has been framed, 27% believe he's guilty, and 29% are still not sure either way. This case is still a whodunit, and I believe part of the confusion is because the culprit is just as likely a police officer as anybody else. In fact, according to the evidence we have now, a police officer is the best suspect. I'll show you what I mean. But I must warn you, there's profanity in some parts of this clip, and I edited out as much of it as I could. If that's no good for you, try watching it turning the volume down after the first scene. Okay? All right, guys, get that fancy coffee or a nice hot cup of green or Assam tea because it's Easter. Gotta have something special as we begin our story. We know that Moscow law enforcement was at 1122 King Road just as much as anybody else. Okay, and most likely Papa Rogers is a police officer because of the amount of knowledge that he had about the case. Remember, there was no forced entry, so there's no doubt that any of the students would have let the police in. Also, there was a delayed 911 call. Okay, if it was law enforcement, then the person would need to go home and change and clean up and then show back up to the crime scene. And so that would explain the delayed 911 call. And lastly, if the knife sheath was planted, only a law enforcement officer could have done it because no one else could re-enter the crime scene. Okay, now let's look at this article published by Chris D'Angelo on March the 23rd, 2010. Okay, it says that Mr. Payne said, "We've been hunting them all week." Mr. Payne said the morning after his kill, still energized from the experience. Okay, so we know that this law enforcement officer is no stranger to killing. He was killing even as a teenager before he went to the military, right? And so he felt energized after a kill. Okay, that suggests some type of appetite for what? Murder. Okay, and then also we have to think of the fact that going to war, experiencing being able to kill someone, you don't just come back to your native land and the appetite for murder just disappears. Okay, so think about those things as we begin our story.
Opie to temptation, all your hands are so cold. You gotta keep the devil way down in the hole.
Authorities are calling it a crime of passion. Here's Stephen Fabian.
It's the chilling last photo of four University of Idaho students taken just hours before the town's murder. They were identified as freshmen. His girlfriend, Zana Kernodal, Haley Gonzalez, and Madison Logan. It's being called a crime of passion.
Still, there are no suspects. Still, there are no suspects. Still, there are no suspects.
There's no fucking reason to panic.
No fucking reason to panic. Did you say no fucking reason to panic?
Hey, stop being an idiot. All right? We're the cops on this case. This is our case. We're gonna find the fucking killer.
We are the fucking killers.
Since when does that matter? Huh?
Yeah, Brian, that's right. He completed his undergraduate studies here at DeSales University in 2020, and then he received his master's in criminal justice here just this year.
William McCall shunned the business world and turned his life to medicine, receiving his medical degree from Harvard in 1969. This is who you picked. You picked a saint to pin a murder on. God. We pick him, we sure do pick him, don't we? Brown magenta? No, I mean, is it brown?
Then hearing apparent cries from Kernodle's room and a man saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." She told investigators she saw a figure in black clothing and a mask walking toward her, then leaving. She says she stood frozen and in shock, locking herself in her room.
From the left.
And then what am I supposed to say?
You just look at them and then you look at the man, the second from the left, and you say, it's him.
And I ask you if for sure.
You say, absolutely, no question.
And this is all I have to do.
No talking.
Number 2.
Number 2, Jimmy. You know, Frank, I think maybe what we did wasn't right. I mean,
Come on, man. Think about it. That's just part of the job. Hey, it could have just as easily happened to you or me.
that's just fucking it. We all fucking cops. We fucked up, man.
We fucked up once. Once out of 10. Come on, that's not bad. All right, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. The guy was in the wrong place, the wrong fucking time. What do you want me to say? I'm not going down for it.
You gotta keep the devil way down in the hole.